the roundtable discussion has always been a must-have session for our summit. So it's like leading gurus exchanging ideas with each other for the clash of wisdom from everyone. So without further ado, let's have the dialogue session for roundtable. The focus of the topic is going to be about the development trends for the PGM industry supply chain. Let's welcome the panelists here today. We have with us Shanghai Golden Koi Investment Corporation Limited designer Tong Fang, and also the Sino Steel Futures Deputy General Manager Chen Dongwei, and the Guangdong Provincial Gold Association Vice President and Chief Analyst, and the Shenzhen Jinzehao Corporation General Manager Zhu Zhigang, and also for the Better Gold Chairperson Huoju. So the moderator for this session would be the WPIC researcher Zhang Wenbing. Well, first of all, it's my privilege and honor to be the moderator for the roundtable session. Sitting amongst the four leading veterans and gurus in the industry gives me a lot of excitement and nervousness as well. So today, we are going to divide the dialogue into two parts. The first one is about the status quo of the platinum market right now. Second one is about the development trend for the industry as well. So we are on a very tight schedule. So for every question, I'm going to give 3 minutes for each of the panelists to say a few words about the question I'm going to ask. The first one starts from Tong Fang. So for your information, Tong Fang is an industry famous designer. In a lot of precious metal coin, we can see a lot of great design. This is designed by Madame Tong Fang. So like the 80th anniversary celebrating the victory of the Long March and also the 40th anniversary for the reform and opening up, 2019, 2020, about the Panda series of a souvenir gold coin are designed by Tong Fang as well. So I'm a huge fan of you as well. So I really appreciate the opportunity to have this chance with you to do a dialogue interview with you. So first of all, let's ask Madam Tong Fang, from your perspective and from the perspective of investment opportunities in the precious metal coin, would you like to say a few words about the platinum-based coin here in China? What about 17 years ago? So maybe I believe that within 17 years. So the second version 2.0 of the Panda series of coin is going to release. Well, how can we understand that? Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your super nice and generous words. So I come from the China gold coin investment company as a designer. So I'm in charge of the designing for the precious metal series of souvenir gold coin. So this is called a golden business card for China. Is also called the nobles of the souvenirs. There are 4 different materials: gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Platinum-based coin, in terms of its number of publication and launch, this is very rare. And then in terms of the volume of its release is very, very few as well. But now we believe that a platinum-based coin is welcoming it as a very important member. In terms of the volume, ever since the year 1987, since the first the Panda series of a platinum coin is being released, 2,000 pieces of coins were released that year. But the 2020, and then in between 17 years, is the second generation of a Panda coin being released, which is quite a milestone. In the secondary market, if you look at this price, and the 92 and the 96 and the year of the monkey and the zodiac sign on the publication of the coin and the secondary market price, is very surprisingly good.
In the year of monkey, as well as in the year of rabbit, one coin is around 150K. In other words, 1 ounce of platinum-based coin will cost you 150K or 130K respectively. In terms of the Panda coin, because the early issuance is not small, as a result, it's more possible for people to get their hands on them. As a result, our price is just moderate. So if you need, you can just assess your own needs when you want to make purchase of platinum-based coins. There are several highlights to the recent issue of platinum-based coin. Firstly, after 17 years, we once again issue platinum-based coin. It comes in 2 sizes. The first size is 1 gram, and we issue a total of 100K coins. And the second size is 30K, coming or total number of 10K. So if you're interested, feel free to go outside and take a look yourself. For the first time, we have two skiing pandas on the surface of the platinum core, which is in line and echoes the 2022 Winter Olympics. And also for the first time, there is the logo of our anniversary celebration. So on the whole, the coins are of great value. In terms of the total issue, we have in total issued 422K, and Panda coins total 320,000, accounting for 75% of the total issued amount, followed by zodiac sign coins. So we do see that the future of platinum-based coin has massive potential. Thank you very much, Ms. Tong, for this excellent interpretation. You have some feast for the eye because the 40-year anniversary Panda coin, the whole series and the whole collection are there for you to appreciate, along with previously issued platinum-based coins. So this is something that you have never seen before, the complete collection. This is something you should not miss. I would like to ask Mr. Zhu, as you're an expert in the industry and your company is the first to issue platinum bars. So I'd like you to talk about the overall sales of the platinum-based bars and what is the general profile of those who purchase such bars. So ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am honored to jointly issue China's first platinum-based bars. It is, and it has been really popular. As early as 2021, we launched the year of ox bar, and this year we launched the year of tiger bar. What much to our surprise, this year's platinum bar sells extremely well. Our biggest client purchased 10 kilograms of such plant-based bars. In addition to that, we have other customers asking us whether there will be additional issues, but we only provide limited number of such bars. We mainly sell via our offline sales points as well as on e-commerce platform on JD and Taobao. In terms of the online sales, monthly sales stands at dozens of grams, but now every month we sell steady amount of around 2 kilograms. Well, you might think the number is small, however, for us engaging in the platinum-based bar sales, this represents the first spark, and it's some sort of floodplain. And a lot of customers are starting to launch their versions of plant-based bars, and we do see a greater variety of such products. According to our preliminary assessment and calculation, around 5,000 people have already purchased from us. Some of them purchased 10-gram bars, some purchased 20-gram bars, but they are big clients who purchase 10 kilogram. More and more people start to purchase kilogram scale bars, and some of our customers, they purchase 2 kilogram of bars online. Many thanks to these customers for confidence in us, and many thanks to World Plan Investment Council for their assistance. So we do enjoy certain reputation, and we do see the sales will be better going forward. We did some analysis of the profile of the customers. There are basically 3 categories. One category, they purchase platinum as a part of their portfolio, so they do see the price of gold being very high, and they expect the price of gold to go even higher going forward, and they purchase platinum as a way to hedge risks or to avoid risks because they do see limited upside for the gold price. That's the first category. The second category are just those who are obsessed with platinum. They like platinum, and for them, compared with gold, platinum is more valuable and more worthy of collection. So they purchased platinum for this purpose, and they told me that if your channel of repurchase is smooth, for me, when I purchase 5 kilograms of gold, I will purchase 2 kilograms of platinum. And the third category of customers think that platinum is still at a very low price, and they do see upside for platinum price going forward. So they purchase platinum as investment or as for speculative purpose. And the third category of customers, they come in large numbers. A lot of people ask me where they can purchase platinum. So we do see better market prospect going forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Zhu, for feeding us with the most latest information about market, including the sales breakdown as well as the profile of your customers. Next, I would like to ask Mr. Chen Dongwei from China Steel Futures Company. Last week we met and Ms. Chen said that she is an avid purchaser of gold. So today I would like you to talk about how you see investment in platinum, and also with your years or decades of experience in the platinum market and in gold market, what do you think we need to do if we want the platinum market to be better in the future? Thank you very much for the invitation, and thanks to the moderator. Last week I was in Shanghai Gold Week, and I call myself, or actually I am an avid purchaser of gold, and today I would call myself a lover of platinum. Platinum is an investment product because it is part of the precious metals group. We said that gold has three functions, and it can be an investment, it can be used for hedging, and also you can simply purchase for appreciation. Similarly, platinum has similar functions, but for platinum is mostly a type of goods, as opposed to gold as a product for risk hedging. That's why gold is more expensive than platinum. In particular, before the pandemic, the United States cut back on interest rates as a way to hedge risk. The gold started to see its price go up, whereas platinum, when the situation is not very good and when political situation is not very stable, platinum prices are relatively weak, attesting to its function as a type of commodities or as a goods. However, as China and people around the world start to talk about cutting back on emissions of CO2, we do expect more stringent requirements on that front, and we do see more ownership of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. We do see increasing demand for platinum. About 72% of the demand for platinum comes from non-investment purpose, as opposed to the mere 11% on the part of gold. Yesterday, I met with someone from CNOOC, Mr. Han. He told me that platinum's application in various industries keeps increasing. It's relevant to our daily life, not just confined to new energy, aviation, as well as aeronautics. It's relevant to our daily life, including the intake of good elements by our body, as well as the fabrication of clothes. All kinds of cloths rely on platinum as a catalyst. An anti-cancer drug or the targeted drug rely on platinum as a catalyst. In other words, platinum is not only relevant to the industry but also to the day-to-day life of people. And in the future, demand for platinum will just go up. Today, two presenters mentioned that in the future, steelmaking industry will rely on hydrogen as a power source. Well, I have experience working in the steelmaking industry for 3 decades, so I am an expert in this area. Maybe later on we can discuss whether there are breakthroughs regarding new energy outside China, because we do see some problems in China. Even if we do not consider demand for platinum from new energy, demand for platinum still goes up. On the other hand, regarding the cost of platinum, as we heard from some speakers, that the cost of platinum is around 200 RMB per gram. In other words, the cost stands at around 200 RMB. As one of the precious metals, it's impossible for us to see much downside for platinum, as it is a precious metal. For me, I have been making fixed size investment in gold for 5 consecutive years, and I also shared with you some anecdote. Mr. Wang from PICC told me that investing in gold represents some sort of confidence and belief, and indeed the year before last year, I got good return from my investment in gold. As for platinum, for me, I belong to the first category as was categorized by Mr. Zhu. So for me, I do see the price of platinum still at a low level. So I choose to make investment in platinum as a way to diversify my portfolio. However, by attending the conference, I see more opportunities. If I do see more beautiful platinum-based jewelry, maybe I will become an obsessor of platinum as well. Thank you very much, Ms. Chen, for your insightful as well as down-to-earth interpretation and sharing. I knew that you already purchased some platinum-based jewelry products. Indeed, I placed my order. I made an investment. And by the way, let me just promote. I purchased products from Shanghai. Thank you very much, Ms. Chen. And my next question goes to Mr. Cao. Your company for years has done a lot in precious metals industry. So I'd like to ask you regarding platinum-based metal in and out of China. What's your view on this industry on the market, and how do you see the PGM market will perform going forward? Thank you very much, and many thanks for inviting me to the 2022 Shanghai Platinum Week. I'm from China's gold capital, Hunan Yongxin. I'm also the general manager of Zhouchuanbai Company. So previously, I worked in gold, and I've only shifted to the platinum industry about several years ago. So indeed, I'm a newcomer to the industry. But many thanks to the assistance, help of many friends, we do have made some achievements regarding PGM, regarding rhodium, palladium, and platinum-based products. We have the businesses in all of these areas. Speaking of products, I don't think there are big differences between products produced by Chinese manufacturers as well as overseas manufacturers. For example, old powder, 1 gram, the price difference is around dozens of RMB, but last year the price gap was just narrowed to next to nothing.
Now we have a ternary metallic catalyst. So in the past, most of the ternary scraps must be exported elsewhere with a very super cheap price. Say when those scrapped trimetallic catalyst has ended up in Japan, and then they are reprocessed and they are sold back to China with a much higher price premium. So I've been seeing through the development of industry like that. But echoing the points raised by the experts here today at today's summit, China is a huge consumption country. We have some data available for everyone, so I can have the impression that the usage of the PGM is very huge. So I feel very pleased to be part of this industry. Going forward, based on how we're standing, where we are standing at right now, we have a lot of pain points. Say, if you look at the risks of the industry, the risk lies in that lack of bilateral transaction mechanism. But I still believe that the Lingang projects, as well as today's futures product sharing, from the Guangzhou Futures Exchange, I just feel that honestly, we don't have enough different categories. We should have more. Now, it only has a platinum and a palladium. But what about the iridium, ruthenium, and also osmium? We need to have futures products of all of those ones, especially for the small PGMs, because for SMEs, they are exposed to major risks. they need to do the hedging. Throughout the industry, I have seen that our industry have a very weak risk awareness. So sometimes they are forced into doing something. Suddenly, all over the night, they lose all the life hard-earned money and wealth, and especially for the rhodium. So from the 7,000 last year all the way nosedive to 2,000. So I have dealt with some clients who have to liquidate their position, or sometimes they are insolvent. They have a negative asset. So I really feel for them. So that's why I hope that Guangzhou Futures Exchange can do more. So because I'm a practitioner in the market, I'm not a very prolific speaker. I'm not an eloquent speaker, and I just had a cold. I just recovering from a cold several days ago, so it seemed I'm a little bit illogical. Thank you for bearing with me. So I think the market do really need to have more products. We hope that we can have more diversity of products to be chosen by the different market participants. So there's one speaker mentioning that even though COVID-19 doesn't seem to be a problem in China, but for foreign countries, actually for China dealing with the foreign countries, we still have to do the hedging. So in the recent 2 years, so COVID-19 is successfully controlled. So is gold. We have like Shanghai Gold Exchange, which is doing very mature business. So you can freely trade gold and silver here in Shanghai. But think about the platinum is a shortfall. Now what we do is trying to build up our inventory in order to hedge against risks, to make life easier, and trying to use external futures company to do the hedging. In China, if we have it, it's gonna be very convenient for us, so that we don't have to be constrained by the foreign exchanges, and our like capital utilization will be easier. Because if you try to wire something across the border, it's gonna cost you some transaction fee, right? What else do you want me to answer? For your company, what about your strategic deployment of your company? Is your trade secret almost maybe something? Okay, strategy-wise, we really appreciate the opportunities in our industry. So think about a better gold. We are working very hard, but we are a private family company. We alone cannot do all the job. So ever since 16 years old, I started to take the helm of our company. I have been the top leader for about like 30 years. Together with Jinchuan company, we set up the Jinchuan Better Gold, and also the Lanzhou Kejingyuan is our shareholding company as well. So we are the same family. Going forward, think about our plan in Jinchuan and in Hunan. We have acquired 50 Chinese moved land. We set up the factory facilities as well. We are doing the relocation as well. So the purpose is trying to make sure that we forge consensus. We complement each other's resources, and trying to break down the barriers between upstreams and downstreams in the industry. So together, for our industry, we can contribute our bits so that we can contribute to the development of our industry. I am of the firm conviction and believe that, so we share the same vision as well. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm not a very eloquent person. Thank you very much, Mrs. Hao, to talk about opportunities of the PGM industry. But also at the same time, you have already made us mindful of the risks of our industry as well. And now, thank you for generously sharing with us like the PGM and the grand vision of your company as well. So now let's go to the second topic of the presentation. Let's talk about the industry development trend. First question is addressed to Zhigang. From your perspective, how exactly can we make sure that platinum investment can better play its role? How can we optimize the design of the product? What are the relevant policy incentives that is needed? Thank you. I think that's the pain point of the PGM industry. So I graduated from Shenyang Gold Academy. I have always been working in the gold industry. So I think gold is the coin by its very nature, but platinum, it doesn't have the coin, the money nature, but it has the physical attribute in a sense that coal's melting point is about 1064 Celsius degree. By just using the normal gun, you can just melt it away, but platinum is 1,700 different Celsius degrees. So it's not easily melted away. And if it's melted away, there will be a lot of degradation. That is to say, if you invest in the gold bar, so your cost is about 0.8 to 1 RMB yuan per gram. For platinum, is expensive in the sense that when I first started to the platinum, so I think it's about 18 RMB yuan per gram, but now, since our collaboration, it's brought down to 6 to 9 RMB yuan per cost. But that's so much more expensive than gold. So think about like the price differential for the buyers and sellers is usually if you invest it in gold bar, it's 10 to 12 RMB yuan per bar. That's fine. But the platinum is different because you have to add up like a 25, 28 RMB yuan. So the price differential between the buyer and the seller is about a 30 RMB yuan. So if you really want to pay back your investment capital, it's a difficult thing because of its physical attributes. You find that the buy and sell price differential is widened. And second one is a recycled price difference. Now, if you really want to minimize the price differential to around about 20 RMB yuan or 18 or 20 RMB yuan for buy and sell, and then its investment nature could be brought to its bear. Echoing the points raised by Mr. Cao just now, actually, so we don't have a bilateral transaction platform or enough channel to do it that. So that's why we really welcome the Guangzhou Futures Exchange in rolling out new different investable categories. We very much look forward to see that happening. So you find that actually there is one phenomenon in our industry. So you'll find that when the platinum price declined to 180, so like the 13th of July this year, so you'll find that actually if you really want to get the platinum bar, you cannot. So three customers are asking me, one customer want to get a 100 kg, they cannot. So I was asking them, do you have it actually the 100 kilograms of bar? He said, no, I can give you 10% of that. Then I asked the client, do you want to take the 10 kilo? And the customer said, yes, but when I called the supplier again, it's already gone. And it's totally sold out. When the market's like that, you cannot get your good. And on the 14th of August, so the platinum price has been up by 27 RMB yuan, almost 30 RMB yuan. So, but when you want to just buy it, you cannot. So I think price volatility for platinum is bigger than that of gold because the volatility is the nature of that. You have a lot of opportunities for making the money, but you don't have the tools to cash in on the volatility. So you missed out on the investable ideas and investable timing for that. That's the second thing. Third one is a taxation issue. What's the taxation issue? So think about refineries. For the non-standardized metal is a tax-free. So when you recycle that, there is no tax involved. But for platinum, it's not standardized. So such a policy benefit doesn't apply to platinum in the future. I guess that platinum is going to see similar projects or like policies applied to gold that will benefit all the platinum industry. I believe that the investment nature of that is fully going to be capitalized on. Thank you very much, Mr. Zhu, for your sharing. The next, I would like to ask the Chen Dongwei. In terms of designing the platinum derivatives, do you have any good suggestions? I think the design of that, I think I'm not in the best position to talk about it. You should ask the futures exchange guy. So that's what I think. So when we talk about the futures platform, I think I agree with them in the sense that just like in the steel industry, so we have been talking about hedging for more than 10 years. When you used to do the spot trade, you work with one leg, and then for the ups and downs of the market, you have to undertake that. So I have been working for a company for about like 30 years. I have seen the ups and downs and come and go of 5 generations of people. Echoing the points by Mr. Chao, so precious metal, for the PGM metal, there is no such a hedging platform. So for our operation, it's not very stable. So if you make money, you make a lot of money. And if you lose money, you lose a lot of money. If you want to sell it out, you cannot because the timing is not right. Because there's lack of the real time and liquefied on the platform for you to do a real-time transaction. So we have to seek for the answer from the futures exchange to do the hedging in the futures market for spot market. So futures are not for money-making purposes. It's kind of navigating you through the unilateral movement of the price. Such a unilateral price movement risk can be well cushioned away from you. So the futures transaction is about choosing lesser of the two evils. When you do futures, you cannot guarantee you will be for sure profitable. But if you do the futures, so the base risk between the spot and futures can be a replacement to the unilateral price movement risk, so lesser of the two evils. So this is going to help the company to navigate through the problems over the longer run. You can make a little money, you can lose a little money, but as long as you can survive, you have the opportunity to prosper, right? So it comes to the design of the contract. So exchange guys have their own thoughts, but from my perspective, because in the 9 different categories in the iron steel, I designed 7 of them. Actually, I was lecturer for all different types of the categories of iron steel. I think I'm well qualified to say something about it. If you want to design for some new product, the first thing you have to bear in mind is that you have to design the volatility in its very nature of the design. It should be volatile, but it shouldn't be too volatile. If there's no volatility, there wouldn't be any investors. If you have no investors, you don't have a counterparty, you can't do the hedging, right? So you have to attract investors to do the trading so that there is enough liquidity in the market, and then you can do hedging, right? But you shouldn't over design the liquidity. So if it's like shooting above the sky or nose diving, nose cliff or something, and then people are going to have an uproar, or they're going to disclose about you, or they're going to complain about you. And we are not going to talk about like the restrictions and export of breakthrough technologies. Think about for the gold products. So what is the size of a contract for a lot of disqualified investors? Do you have to allow them in the game, or just exclude them? For those ones who are you responsible for their decisions, so if they lose all their life earned money, they are going to blame you, the exchange. And some other people, they are not well versed in the investment, so they will put the bet on all their life savings. If they lose it all, they lose the money to treat their illnesses or something. So we have to exclude the disqualified ones, the size of contract, and also the tick of the contract. So you find that the minimum movement unit is like a 5 or 1. It's a different story. So, and also what about your margin? So actually about the 6 times or 8 times multiple leverage, what about your upper limits and price limit up and limit down? So I believe that there will be like financial engineers who can calculate the numbers very well. And also for your contract, do you deliver it or not? Do you do like physical delivery or do a cash delivery or something? So for rebar and iron ore futures, when those were designed, I insist on them being physically settled and delivered, because as an industry developers for iron and steel, I have been doing spot trade for 18 years. If you just deliver by cash, I just feel that it's not related to my production, it's not related to my operation of my spot market. I was a very, very passionate supporter of the physical delivery against the cash delivery. But back then, so iron ore is just like fragmented, like the bulk commodities. So it's, you cannot standardize that. It's not easy to store them in a centralized warehouse. So back then, I was a very vivid supporter of standardization and physical delivery. So hereby, after more than 13 years of experiences doing trade in the futures market, it turns out that I think we can allow for both cash and physical delivery. Trust exchanges, they are going to present the optimal design for you, because from the exchange perspective, they don't need to make money.
Because the exchange, they're just under the state council of China, so they want the market to have liquidity, and they want to provide to the real economy and the spot market a tool so that people in the real economy can have something to hedge risk. So the exchange must be fair and equitable, and they must make sure that both buy side, the long side and short side, are of equal weight instead of one weighing, one having dominance over the other. So for us, we think that in designing of contract, you have to take into consideration actual needs. I'm not an expert in platinum. You all are an expert, so you should raise your questions and problems you face in your day-to-day operations of business to the exchange, and they can trust them to design a optimal contract and plan. I insisted on physical settlement and delivery in the past, but today I don't think that is the case. In fact, the physical delivery of precious metal is easy. It's not easy to be replaced with something of suboptimal quality. It's also easy to do testing of the quality of precious metal. So I don't think that's a big deal if you do physical delivery. And I do think if such contracts are designed, they will quickly be launched to the market and accepted by the market. They will be well received by the market. And once we have such a contract or tool in place for investors as well as speculators, there will be one more tool available, one more option or channels for investment and speculation. In the meantime, when the contract's in place, if it's physical settlement, we have standard warehouse receipts. Standard warehouse receipts can be connected with the financial market, and people can use such receipts to do a raising of capital. They can get capital from exchange as well as banks. As long as you present the standard warehouse receipts to banks, they will extend credit to you. In other words, such thing will be connected to the financial market. And I do see for companies, investors, and for market in general or as a whole is a very good direction of growth. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Chen. You have given very insightful analysis and comment based on your decades of experience in various industries. So we do hope that the PMP contracts products can be launched to the market as soon as possible, and we will see more varied product selections or product pipelines so that investors can have more investment channels. For companies, mostly they are concerned with risk control when it comes to the managing of their production as well as the industrial layout. So the third question is to Ms. Fang, because we know that for the past couple of years, as an investment, platinum has received attention from in and of China, in particular outside China. It's a very popular investment thing. For example, the platinum, the yin-yang platinum coin, the sales of such coin reached a record high for several consecutive years. There are similar coins, platinum-based coins issued in South Africa as well as Italy. So I'd like for you to talk about how everything has inspired you and how we get inspiration from the trend in and of China, and what will be your expectation for the Panda platinum coin going forward. Actually, I designed the 03 version. However, it will not be released until the 15th of September when it comes to the overall scheme, the design scheme of 03 version. So I'm not allowed to reveal anything about it until you see it issued by the PBOC. But according to our previous plan, we will continue on the basis of the platinum coin, but we will make some adjustment with regard to the total number as well as the price. As was mentioned by the moderator, outside China, plant-based coins have very good sales. Actually, in 2019, at the World Horticulture Expo, there was issuance of 3 grams of platinum coins at a total number of 10K or 10,000. However, in the secondary market, the situation for this coin is not very good because it wasn't, or it was issued very early at the market. The market usually look at the scarcity of such coins and the theme of such coins. They also look at the total issuance of such coins, and also they look at the design principle, the design theme of such coins. All these are very important factors for market to factor into. As was mentioned by a previous speaker, platinum is different from gold as it's very rigid and has a high melting point. So when we make platinum coins, we faced similar problems. As early as the first platinum coin was issued in 1980s, the total number of platinum coins isn't very large, and until now we only have 1.83 tons of platinum coins, accounting for only a small fraction of the overall PGM market, partly related to the overall awareness of consumers in China. Ms. Chen just talked about derivatives. Actually, derivatives of the Panda platinum coin to some extent. This time, we have actually hosted a competition surrounding the panda coin. And tomorrow in the afternoon, you will know who will be the winners from this competition. And you will know how the panda coin will be combined with jewelry products. A lot of artists or jewelry artists, they come up with various innovative thinking that we cannot come up with ourselves, which comes at a surprise, a pleasant surprise to many of us. Actually, as a national fiat coin, we got a lot of inspiration from their design, not only with regard to jewelry products, but also for to fiat, because it has the dual function as a wearable, but also as a collection item. So we need to work more on promoting it, because for Chinese consumers, their understanding is that platinum is just a raw material for jewelry. When they purchase gold or silver coin, they think of them as a collection item instead of wearing it on their day-to-day. On the other hand, so on one hand, we need to increase consumer education. On the other hand, we need to improving the technique. As technology grows, the total output of platinum and understanding and awareness by customers as well as by investors will also go up. So in the future, when we do similar issuance, including when it comes to version 2 and version 3 of the Panda Platinum coin, we will see better results. So I do see that the Panda coin will be a highlight of the future collection of platinum-based coins in China in the upcoming years, and I do see a lot of potential for it. Thank you very much. We really much look forward to it. So on the 15th of September, 8 o'clock in the morning, online issuance. You can set an alarm yourself, and we will just wait and see what kind of surprise the issuance of Panda coin will give us. We do see a lot of excellent products from the competitions that Ms. Tong just mentioned. It represents some sort of novelty and ingenuity. So we will just wait and see what will be presented to us in the afternoon of tomorrow. Mr. Cao just talked about his company's overall planning, but I would like to ask you a more grander question on the part of the national strategy, combining it with the platinum value chain. What suggestions will you give? Thank you very much, but we don't think we have such grand vision. However, from the industry perspective, I do see, China is a big consumer of platinum, so I do hope that the Chinese government can issue some supportive policies conducive to the development of not only platinum alone, but PGM industries, including technological support or technical support as well as financial support, such as futures. I do hope more connectivity become a reality as soon as possible. For platinum, there is only a platinum mine in Jinchuan of China. We don't see any platinum mines in any other place in China. For years, we have imported huge amounts of platinum. I haven't done much preparation, but there are some figures. We don't produce a large amount of mines, but in my experience working in the platinum industry over the past couple of years, I do see secondary production of platinum-based metals is just tremendous, much to my surprise today. So we produce a lot from secondary sources, and the proportion is also very high. For example, let me just give you the example of rhodium. Over the past 2 years, around 100 kilograms per month. For iridium, around dozens of kilograms per month. So I do think proportion-wise, the figures are large. For secondary resources, recycling technology, and recycling itself will see a lot of opportunities. Let's just say that when the international situation is not in our favor, and when China needs new materials from PGM or from PGM resources, so I do see that companies like us can use the recycling technology to meet such needs, because we do see the industry growing year on year, and 10 grams or 5 grams of rhodium, we can achieve recycling rate of over 99%. So if we do calculation based on that, for the past 2 years, limited or constrained by site area. Well, by the way, that's why we purchased the 50 mu of land so that we have more factory floors. So I do think recycling is part of the overall game. Of course, recycling requires national support. So I do think that will be of strategic importance so that we are not so much constrained by some bottleneck issues. Well, I would like to add up something. The exchange. The exchange is not under the CSRC. The exchange works on a membership basis. So the futures industry is like 5-in-1. Well, it's a 5-in-1 regulatory framework. So the exchange is not a subsidiary, it's not like a local agency of CSRC. I just want to clarify this point. Thank you very much, and thanks to Mr. Cao as well so much for the roundtable. Thanks once again to the 4 panelists attending the panel discussion, and many thanks to all of you attending offline and tuning in online. Thank you.